get to this, surely. Someone's got to get to it.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a World Cup video 2015. We have South Africa versus New Zealand. This is a requested video here.
We haven't seen like either one of these teams a lot, so I don't know who's more dominant, who's more skilled. I'm kind of looking forward to this one.
I don't know who was predicted to win. All I know is it's an iconic match. You guys have talked about it a lot. I looked through some of the facts, and I didn't want to spoil the video for us.
Yeah, like what makes it so iconic though? If you guys know, like that would be great.
Well, we're about to find out, and then we're going to watch the video first, and then we're going to kind of, I think, maybe dig deeper if it doesn't tell us in the video what it was about. I do know that ABD was playing at this time, though.
Oh, you know it's going to be good then.
So we've seen him a couple times, and then one video where it's just about ABD.
Yeah.
But this is a World Cup match, highly iconic. Why, we don't know. We don't want to spoil it by reading too much about it. We just want to watch it, and then we'll go over it. So the video I found, I'll link in the description below. Go show that creator some love. Otherwise, let's jump into it right now.
Need a wicket, South Africa. New Zealand, another boundary would help. Oh, it's gone up. Now someone's got to get to this, surely. Someone's got to get to it.
Oh!
They've knocked it off. No, New Zealand don't want to run. It's calamity out there.
South Africa versus New Zealand, just an
They
insane
just, like, collided
last
into each
couple of
other.
overs. I mean, I watched it like this. And Grant Elliott was the hero. He broke South Africa's hearts. Talk to me about calling that match.
Well, being a South African too for Grant Elliott, there's so much I remember about that last over because, it was so crucial. Obviously, we knew what was at stake. That was a day that had rain involved in it, so those games are sort of disjointed. And then Brendan McCullum came out and launched us into this remarkable run chase. So we got to that scenario, and I felt that with Daniel Vittori out there, we had a really cool, experienced head, and Grant Elliott's just one of those cool sort of cookies that you can rely on.
Here we go. Dale Steyn.
Oh, man, look at the run-up.
Elliott on strike.
It's a marathon run.
Elliott hits it over the grandstand, and New Zealand are in the World Cup final. Grant Elliott,
That was
Superman.
beautiful.
South Africa despair. They're down on their knees. New Zealand goes
By 4
wild.
wickets.
They're making the trip for the big prize.
When it went into the grandstand, I didn't see where it ended, but I knew he'd hit it that well that it was gone, and you could just tell. And then, of course, Eden Park was just, it was like everyone had thrown their arms up in the air in the crowd. Everyone was yelling and screaming, dancing and whatever, and you just could not look out the window and go up with it. It was phenomenal. I think I said something ridiculous like, New Zealand are on the way to the big dance or something like that, or, and Grant Elliott's Superman, or those sorts of things just come to your mind. It was just bizarre. I mean, anyone that was at that ground that night, I think it's probably the most amazing atmosphere of sport perhaps in this country of all time. You get a bit lost in it in the commentary because you can't dwell on that, but I'll never forget the reaction.
Grant Elliott.
Oh,
What a super innings.
Yeah.
That one, holy smokes.
You can just tell by the atmosphere and just how he's talking about it.
Absolutely jubilant.
Probably as big a high as I ever had out on the playing field, was in that commentary box that night. It's one of those things, you do so much commentary on so many great spectacles and things, but it's one of those that comes back to you real quick.
And I think, that was felt throughout the nation. Of course, you felt it at the ground, but the ripple effect throughout New Zealand, it's still with us.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, people talk about it. They relive it. Williamson became, if he wasn't already, a hero against Australia, and then all of a sudden this Grant Elliott. Now, who the heck's Grant Elliott? I mean, and now can't buy a beer. Tell us about it. Tell us about how you hit Dale Steyn up into the grandstand for 6. Did you have it under control? As Graham Smith was next to me, Graham Smith, who'd been a passionate South African cricketer for so long, sitting there just looking out the window in disbelief. Another time that South Africa had fallen at that hurdle. And then he looked out at his former teammates and they were basically crying.
Morning Morkel in tears. It was
Dale
it was
Steyn
actually
lying
very
on the
touching.
pitch. I mean, some of the feeling out there, and I think television portrayed it beautifully.
Yeah, they did.
Because they got the win, the loss, the winners, the losers. the absolute emotion of Elliott going to pick up, staying off the pitch, not celebrate, run around the ground like a madman, you know, just accept the fact that he'd done his bit, and now it's time to just be sportsmen again and respect the opposition. It just absolutely, it's like a movie. It had everything. It just had everything that last 10 to 15 minutes, and it was just wonderful cricket. It really was.
Okay, so we didn't get to watch highlights, and that's kind of what makes this authentic, is because we didn't know what we were diving into, but he really broke it down there.
He did. They did a great job, and you could just tell by the way the bat hit and the sound, everything, the posture, that it was going to be good.
The emotions were just crazy there at the end, and like what he was saying here was that there was sportsmanship. You know, you were a gentleman. They picked another guy up off of the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
I find that we're seeing this more and more with cricket, you know, the humility they have for each other and the kindness. That's huge. I mean, it's so easy to just get full of yourself and, you know, your team and celebrate with them, but to...
Right.
You know, be understanding, kind, because it could be either one at that point.
Right.
Wow.
So I wish we would have seen more of the match, and I mean, we should. Now I feel like we have to, right?
I do too. This is the part of like highlights that you miss out on, like what leads up
right.
to it.
I wouldn't even call that highlights. I mean, we've seen a couple small clips, but yeah. But these are one of the highlights that I do want to watch, though.
Yes, the
Just
highlights,
because...
maybe the match, you know, because there's so much emotion during the whole entire thing, the ups and downs.
Right. So comment down below, what have we missed in this video other than knowing it was iconic? Other than that, New Zealand won. South Africa, obviously, just in tears from this.
You know, they were so close, though.
I mean, ridiculous.
It kind of breaks my heart when you see these people, you know, sitting there just broken.
Right. And that's what I read for some comments of this video, is that, you know, tears were shed, you know, all over the place. It doesn't matter if you're from South Africa, just everywhere, just absolutely everywhere. And this is an amazing sport.
It really is. And when you work so hard, either team, it would have been, you know, the same.
Right.
I could imagine, you know, if New Zealand lost, that they would be in tears too, because you get to that point, you know, in your career where you work so hard, and it's 50-50. One's going to win.
Someone's going to take it. Whew. That was a crazy one. Comment down below. Can you send links about maybe just the highlight or other details about this match, maybe why it was so iconic? I know we kind of touched base with it.
We've seen like those big super moments,
right?
But there has to be more.
I want it broken down a little bit more. Even just text me a little bit down there in the comment box about, you know, what was so special about the other. I mean, it's the World Cup, so understand it's
a huge deal.
no matter what, right?
It is. But I feel like there's more emotion behind it than what we're seeing just in that, you know, last couple parts of the game.
And was that ABD's maybe last, you know, World Cup appearance type?
Oh,
I don't know.
That would be really sad.
Comment down below. I'm sure we've missed a lot, but it's still good to be exposed to this, and, you know, I
think
enjoyed
we learn
it.
more and more and fall more in love with the sport every time we watch something.
Yes.
You know, you see these beautiful, I'm not exactly highlights, but these moments,
right?
And you're like, holy smokes, these were a big impact. Iconic, yes.
That is going to wrap it up for this video. If you made it to the end, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you on that next video. Thanks for watching.
Shots with the Henny in my cup, and a couple moments later we'll be bending up a twine. Something that's divine, have to give it time, but I'm patient. I just wanna see on your spaceship. Plus you done the earth and you never on some fake shit. Splitting half the bill, out the women didn't pay shit. Basic, we just take a time, but you pace it. And you 1-to-1, God ain't no copy paste shit. Felt too many times, this is different, we can make it. Love dripping good off of you, let me taste it.